Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of our Drunken History. Today we are on location for our first episode outside of the shed. So,
oh shoot!
And we've got a pretty good episode this week. We're going to tell some ghost stories.
We are in a haunted house that is owned by Dante and Amanda.
I guess it's true.
And Jet and Kane on the couch over here. They're crashed out. The two dogs.
So somebody died in this house. Is that why it's haunted? Is that what happened? It's a really nice house. It doesn't look haunted.
It was totally redone.
It was totally redone.
Yeah.
Really?
They had to use a pressure washer to get the stains from the decomposition off the floor.
Yeah, Lorna Lowry.
Lorna Lowry.
So that's the person that we looked up on Google, I guess, and we found her obituary.
And she died here in the house.
And she died here in the house.
Do you know which room?
No.
The neighbor will tell the story, though.
That's how we know.
Well, where's the neighbor?
Well,
we need another guest.
We could. But
if we invite him in, we won't be able to get rid of him.
He might do the whole podcast for you.
I'm cool. Hey, work smarter, not harder, right? Like, I'm totally cool with that. I'm just chilling with my feet kicked up.
Yeah, but you're going to have to cut out about half of it because it's going to be filled with a bunch of uhs and hums. And
ours is kind of that way already.
Yeah, you haven't watched the Las Vegas episode, I guess.
You haven't met my neighbor. I promise.
We got so drunk.
The Las Vegas episode, we had to split it into two episodes, and the difference in the first one and the second one. The second one, I will say, had all the Howard Hughes stuff, which was awesome. You did a great job with that. But you can just watch us just tumble down the fucking chute. We got annihilated.
Well, we took like 7 shots during that show.
It was and we're slurring and mispronouncing shit, and
we drank all our beer too all day.
Yeah, and we're just like fuck it at the end. Yeah, it was. I was.
Yeah,
we got drunk.
At the end of it, we were like, we need to record something for the sign off. Like we could come up with some bullshit.
So basically, we were just like, don't drink and drive. Fuck it. Later. Which, by the way, we want to throw it out there. Don't drink and drive. Have a plan. Be safe. If you're going to get shit-faced, have a place to crash.
That's right.
So, as Travis said, and as we have talked about, this week's episode is about ghosts and haunted places. And we're doing it here from the haunted place. So, we're going to let these guys take a stab at the first story.
A stab. Yeah. I like how you went there. Did the old lady get stabbed?
We definitely need...
What was the cause of death?
I think she died peacefully in her sleep.
Peacefully.
So, not too exciting.
Yeah. But, not too exciting, but her husband did work for the FBI, and he died with somewhat unknown causes. All I really know for my neighbor is that he was apparently in some sort of parking lot. I think it might have been at a restaurant. And he was sitting in his car, and he got, assassinated.
Here in town? Maybe.
I guess so. I don't know where he was.
This could have happened at Red Lobster.
He might have been on a business trip or something, but he died much, much, much earlier than Lorna Lowry. And that was the legend.
Wow.
The legend of the neighbor.
So he was doing some covert FBI shit and got knocked off.
Yeah. He was in the FBI,
wow,
and then he also worked alongside of the Secret Service. And there was a president that visited Fort Smith during his time in service, and he was on that escort team, and so that's why he received this letter that we have in the suitcase, or in the briefcase.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing that we didn't mention yet. We have a haunted briefcase with a letter
left behind.
Well, they say
items can hold on to.
Yeah, if you follow some of these ghost hunting shows or follow the lore of it, that they say, ghosts and spirits can attach themselves to objects like briefcases or furniture. People have a haunted house and there's the haunted wardrobe in the bedroom or the haunted briefcase. You open it up and let the demons out.
Can we get the briefcase to show?
The briefcase?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a letter inside that's from the White House.
Is it a letter or just an envelope?
It's an envelope.
Okay.
Yeah, there was definitely a letter inside of it stating probably his mission or orders or something like that.
That'd be cool.
That is really cool.
But we don't know what was inside of it. That's
Yeah.
just
It's
what
your
I'm
haunted
guessing.
briefcase.
So what was the guy's name?
His was Howard
Howard.
Lowry.
So this is Howard. I feel creepy just touching this thing. This is Howard Lowry's haunted briefcase
That was left
that was left here at the house.
above our laundry machine in the cabinet.
Yep.
Did you call it a laundry machine? It's called a washer and dryer, bro.
It's a washer.
It's a
A
washer.
laundry
It's a washer.
machine.
Laundry machine.
What are you from the 50s?
From the New York.
Or you put it in there and it gets clean? I don't know.
He drops it on
it's
the
a
floor
laundry
and
machine.
somehow I do something
It's
to it.
magic, I
And
tell
it's
ya.
I
clean.
thought that was her nickname, the laundry machine.
You should have saw the house before.
So anyway, yeah, we have the. What else? There's nothing else in here. There's
Isn't
there was
there
a,
the
like, a
en-
picture
No, the
frame.
envelope.
I know there's something else in here.
What else was in there? Oh no.
The
what is
haunted
that?
string.
Green's FBI string is in there. I'm just perusing this guy's briefcase. I'm probably gonna get off in a fucking parking lot too now. So, wow, there's an envelope in here, and it says the return address is. It just says the White House is all.
They should know where that is.
But Washington, yeah, it's Pennsylvania Avenue. January 5th, 1970 is the postmark.
We'll take a picture of this and put it on the video.
Yeah,
that way you can
the
see.
stamp is a Henry Ford 12-cent stamp. Postal stamps just went up this past week. I wish we were 12 cents again. But it is addressed to Mrs. Lorna Lowry. I won't give out your address. I don't want people coming over here and trying to ghost hunt. But anyway, there's a... What is in here? Cardboard?
I think it's just cardboard that
Yeah,
the letter
that's-
came in.
There's cardboard in here.
Yep, it's haunted cardboard.
Haunted cardboard. And,
So do you know when?
and more haunted cardboard.
Shit.
Do you know when the husband died? Like what year?
No, I don't, but I'm pretty sure it was not too long after that. I'm not 100% though.
That's
I'd have
crazy.
to ask my neighbor more, but
This is really crazy. It says "Do not bend," so I won't. I'm just gonna put it away.
But
But anyway, yeah, we'll get a good picture of this stuff and throw it up.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah, it's pretty cool though.
part of the creepy part about this is that there was not only Lorna and Howard that lived here, but there was a couple that redid the entire house, and they lived here for about 3 years. And when I had found this and a bowling trophy left above the washer machine,
Oh, do I need-
Laundry machine.
the washer machine,
Can you grab the
No, the washer
haunted
machine
bowling
is just, it's just the washer.
they had said though that this seemed
Jesus
like it was
Christ.
just a couple items that belonged in the house. That's what they told me.
That's really. Did you meet them? That's what they told you, or
No, I told my realtor about it. He reached out to them, and they replied back with that.
that
I'm
it
like,
belongs in the house?
that it belongs in the house. And I'm like,
really
okay.
We've never tried to, remove it from the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might get it to the door, and there's like some sort of
Yeah.
invisible force that won't let it out
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah, fuck that. Apparently, it looks like the lady of the house, Mrs. Lowry, was a bowler, right? I mean, that's a dress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
women's bowling.
So she won the 1964 women's high average, whatever Trab OWC summer is, bowling league. So
Shoot.
It's got
Women's
that little
bowling.
that is
Dust
amazing.
on it and everything.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't even wipe
original.
that off, man. That's OG shit. Right?
Yeah, that's
That's original dust.
that's
Yeah.
the patina on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool. Kind of, I get a little bit of the heebie-jeebies touching this stuff.
So, let me ask you this though. So, with this stuff being in the house and knowing the history of the house, has anything funny happened that just kind of weird that is strange or you can't explain?
The house makes noises. That door randomly cracks. Like we'll just be sitting on the couch, and it's like,
Huh?
Yeah.
like it's adjusting into place or
Yeah.
something.
Have you ever?
But I mean, nothing.
Have you ever seen anything or heard footsteps?
No footsteps. No footsteps.
That's a big one. Is the footsteps.
Or the
Is it?
knocking or
Yeah.
tapping or anything, or
Yeah.
you walk
that's
in a
one
room-
thing you can
Oh,
communicate. Yeah, you
just
can do
the
that.
other day, I forgot about this. Just
Okay.
the other day, I was in the guest bedroom, and I
Probably where she died.
maybe could have been.
All we know is the
But like
neighbor
all
said-
night, every 5 minutes, I'd hear beads dropping. And
Really?
I turn the light on multiple times. I'm like, all right, fuck this ghost. Where you at, motherfucker? You know, like,
You're being very mean.
I was so
That's
pissed.
an old lady.
'Cause I was trying to.
Yeah, I wouldn't show
trying to
myself
sleep.
either.
So I'm like looking around. I'm like,
Let's see how he treats the laundry machine. I'm not going to talk to this guy.
and I'm like looking around. I'm like, there is nothing that could be dropping anything. Like I looked at the little desk we have. We have some plants in there.
Do you guys have beads?
And
No,
there's-
I don't have any
I was
beads.
thinking, okay,
I'm not
maybe
a
like there was
crafty
some
person.
dirt falling off of a plant or something. But how does that happen? Like
Yeah.
30 times.
I don't know, man. That's
So-
a weird one.
So
Yeah.
there's people talk about, a room suddenly gets cold, or you walk into a room and it's like warm in this room, and you walk in there and it's cold, or you get
Like the movie Shoot.
Can we
the
blame
show,
our bad
Supernatural.
HVAC system on that, you think?
Maybe.
The house is haunted.
Yeah, they
Well,
say.
I mean, I believe that it is.
Yeah.
You ever try to communicate? You try to say like, "Hey, if you're here, dim the lights or knock on the door or something."
No.
You should.
So,
Try it.
how about this?
Maybe you make a new friend.
They say
They said you're going to bring the Ouija board.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
we might have to come up with an episode 2
We're
and
gonna have
bring a
to
Ouija
do
board.
like Stranger Things. We're gonna have
I'll
to
be
lay
honest,
it
I've
on
never
the
played
wall.
with the Ouija board. I don't know that I've ever seen one in person.
I did
Besides,
once.
like, in the
was
box
awesome.
at the store.
All right, guys. So leave us a comment if you want us to come for a part 2 and bring the Ouija board and see if we can communicate with Lorna.
Lorna.
Do
Lorna?
not do this. We don't
But-
want to anger the spirits.
There is
He's
a-
already fucking with me.
There is an
old lady.
ongoing joke in our house, though, because every single time we hear that door crack or anything else, she's like, "All right, Lorna, calm down."
And,
You know?
and does it go away then?
Well,
It's
hard
just
to
it's just like a
show
little
that
shift.
empirically.
Yeah,
And then
But
it's like-
sure.
Hey, she's just wanting to be noticed. Maybe she's wanting a friend.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
she seemed like a
when
nice lady.
you're deployed, I will break out my Ouija board and I'll make.
Do you
friends.
have a Ouija board?
No, I'll get one. I had one in high school.
And you mess with it?
We messed with it.
Did you ever have any experiences with it? Like any communication with the other side?
The only thing that ever happened was like I had a Apple TV like thing, and we would
Jesus Christ, you're
stream-
young.
And I'm sitting in my childhood bedroom, and like me and my friends would like mess with it, and we would stream our music like to my TV in my bedroom, and like every once in a while it would like stop, but like I always just thought it was like bad Wi-Fi or something. Anything else never happened.
So it would stop while you were playing with the
Yeah,
Wi-Fi?
while we were playing with the Ouija
Well,
board.
I've heard ghosts don't like Wi-Fi. They don't like the
yeah, you
the
think they were
EM.
just like
Really?
Yeah, the electromagnetic
Yeah.
signals.
Shit.
It messes with their chi, I guess.
Gee.
There was one more little story that I thought was kind of funny about Lorna.
Yeah,
my
good.
neighbor was telling me. He was essentially saying that he would talk to her like every day, and she knew she was on her way out. And so she always used to make the joke every single time they would like wave to each other or whatever to get the mail. She would make the joke, if I ever go, I'm not leaving this place. I'm not going to go die in a hospital or anything like that unless it's feet first. I'm not leaving this place unless it's feet first. That's apparently what she always used to say. So apparently it was like 3 days had passed and
No one had
Max
seen her
didn't
get the mail.
see
Yeah.
her get the mail.
Oh no.
So he's like, yeah, I better call the cops and just do
Yeah.
a welfare check. So they found her and she passed. But apparently, this might just be a joke, but they, take the gurney or whatever, the stretcher, whatever that's called, and they're carting her out of here. Well, her head's coming out of the door first, and Max is standing on her porch. He's like, nope, you back it up. You turn her around. She said, feet first.
That's awesome, man. That is so cool.
That's great.
She said she is not leaving this place unless it's feet first.
Maybe promise.
That is really cool.
I like that.
So
Yeah, that's great, man.
Honored her wishes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. I like that.
That's a pretty good story. Yeah, Lorna, if you're here, dim the lights for us.
Yeah,
Let's
come
see.
hang out. We got beer.
Yeah.
We have wine if that's more your thing.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, tonight we are drinking an array of drinks, as we usually do. But we are drinking Rogue Dead Guy Ale to pay homage to the dead here, Lorna. And we are drinking this wine. We haven't opened it yet. It's called Phantom. It's a it's a wine from California, and it's actually pretty cool. It's got an app you can download and scan the bottle, and it's interactive. You guys can sit down and play and watch a little movie, and it's pretty cool. They got they have Cabernet and a red blend. I chose the red blend because I don't.
So isn't the story? Isn't the winery something haunted?
Yeah. So the winery is haunted by, they call it the Phantom, and if you guys buy a bottle, you can download the app and scan the front, and I don't remember what they're called. It's one of those little tumbler things that you figure out the
like a cipher lock kind of thing.
Yeah. The thing from fucking Da Vinci Code.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, you turn it to where all the letters align, and then it shows you a little film, and it's got an interactive app. It's pretty neat. So we're gonna give that a shot here in a little bit, and then we're just drinking a couple of light beers. One being Natty Light.
Natty Light. So talking about ghosts, ghosts go into the light. So we're drinking some Natty Light,
and also we're gonna drink a Coors Light, and that goes into my family's haunted ranch. My family grows barley for Coors up on the Montana High Line. So
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So we have I say we. I don't have anything to do with it. It's my mom's cousins that run it, but it's a pretty decent sized ranch outside of Havre, Montana, and they grow barley for Coors up there. So we'll get into those stories here. Anyway, I'm going to try this Rogue Dead Guy Ale. I have yet to try it.
What is it supposed
what is
to
it?
be?
Yeah,
I'll just read it. It says, Dead Guy Ale, gratefully dedicated to the rogue in each of us. Dead Guy Ale is a Maibach style ale with a robust malt profile and a sweetness that is balanced by the liberal use of bittering hops. Dare Risk Dream, 6.8 alcohol by volume, brewed and canned by Rogue Ales in Newport, Oregon. So we're going to give it a shot.
It pairs well with grilled asparagus, barbecue ribs, and pecan pie. I can't offer any of that to you today.
But I like all of those things. Yeah.
So
it's got a cool little skeleton guy on the can too. We'll show that when you see the box.
So not to talk shit about people from Oregon, but so it says when you're reading a wine list or something, it says it pairs well with certain foods. It always says like red meat or fish or chicken first. This says a vegetable first. Pairs well with grilled asparagus.
Well, I don't. That is a true statement. I didn't think about that.
Also, what goes well with grilled asparagus? Like,
fucking Rogue Dead Guy Ale.
Steak goes well with grilled asparagus.
I think that's the only time I've eaten grilled asparagus in my life.
Yeah,
with a steak.
Yeah.
No one just eats asparagus.
It's too expensive. I love it, but it's too expensive.
When I was a kid,
makes your pee smell.
It grows. It does. I was reading a deal where only a certain percentage of people have the gene to smell that. Like 60.
I can smell
no way.
But
that's what I
but
said.
everybody I've ever talked to does.
Exactly.
Because it fucking stinks.
Where'd you read that?
Drop a
I don't
comment.
know.
I think it was on the back of a urinal somewhere.
Some people can't smell this.
Yeah. Anyway, so asparagus, fun fact, grows wild up on the ditch banks, and I'm sure it does here too.
Yeah, I can.
But all over, it grows wild on ditch banks. So when I was a kid, my grandpa had some heart problems, so he had to go on these long walks. So we walk every morning, and we would always cut down asparagus on the ditch banks and then go home and cook it with steak.
With steak, yeah.
Steak. You weren't just cooking
All right,
up asparagus.
so we're trying this Dead Guy Ale.
Oh, that's pretty
That's
good.
the consensus.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to give it a shot? Anybody?
I'll sniff it.
That is really good.
No.
It reminds,
Jeez.
Is it hoppy?
No.
No, it's not hoppy.
Ale-y.
Is it?
It's just
I
it
guess
reminds me
it's
of like a
dark.
brown ale.
It's
like
a dark. Yeah, it's a brown ale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I enjoy that.
I like the IPAs. That's it.
Oh, you fucking hipster.
We had a whole.
That's why you're wearing a flannel shirt.
That's why I'm
We had a whole
wearing
episode where we did nothing but talk shit about IPAs.
Yeah, but we got drunk too.
Yeah, we did.
on IPAs.
Did you drink IPA?
No, we didn't drink
No,
IPAs. We drank wine.
I don't care for IPAs.
They taste like a dirty foot.
Dude,
You
it
haven't had
tastes
the
like
right one.
hops.
You haven't had the right one.
They either taste like grapefruit,
They
which
haven't.
I don't like.
They haven't made
or-
it yet.
No. hate the grapefruit.
They haven't made the right one yet. That's the problem.
No, they haven't made the right one here. Big Ditch.
What's the what?
Big
Yeah,
Ditch
Buffalo has
in
some
Buffalo.
great
Buffalo
brewing
has some
companies.
amazing.
Is it they make great IPAs? Or?
Yes.
All sorts of beer, but yeah, I like their IPAs.
Big Ditch and Resurgence are two of the best IPAs we've ever had.
That's not telling me much. Like,
Yeah, I mean they're just Buffalo local companies.
well, I'll try it. I'm
Oh,
open-minded.
yeah. I'll try anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we'll have to do. We'll have to go to Sodi's and get one of those build your own 6-packs and just get a bunch of different IPAs.
Well, yeah, and we'll throw on man buns.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll grow my hair out, so we're gonna have to do it like 6 months from now, so we can grow our hair out in the man buns, and we'll wear flannel. And we'll.
I have a
taste
bunch of
test
flannel
IPAs.
shirts, but I don't have a man bun.
You won't wear a flannel?
I have a bunch of flannel. Yeah, I didn't.
We gotta wear our glasses.
Yeah, I do have my glasses are black frames. That's true.
Is that a hipster thing too?
I think so. Yeah, like the Buddy Holly glasses.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back on track with the ghost stories. We're starting on a whole different episode already.
Yeah, we're already. So now here's a preview for the episode later to come at a later date.
Yeah. So, did I ever tell you guys about the ghost that I saw?
No.
So I was in Djibouti, Africa, which is a little country between. It's right next to Somalia, and then straight north of Ethiopia, across from Yemen. Anyway, it's a tiny little place, and we lived on Camp Lemonnier, which is a big Navy base there. But we worked at a FOB off base, and it was out in the middle of the desert. And the only lights on the base are the light-alls on the flight line and headlights on vehicles. Like, that's it.
They don't have one of those big generator lights?
There's a light-all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what
I
a
don't know
light-all
what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's not like stadium lights like normal flight line stadium lights.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not an established base. There's actually I've heard that there have been a lot of changes since I was there. I was there years ago.
Okay.
But I
know that we got a brand new big office there.
in Djibouti.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've heard it's grown a lot. I was there kind of I was there during the move from the main base out to the FOB. So anyway, I had a buddy there and a guy I've been employed with several times before. Big motherfucker, 6'8", looks like Thor. Like legit looks like Chris Hemsworth. To the point where when we would have to go into the flight line and we had our restricted area badges, the cops would look at us and say, "You got Thor in the truck?" Yeah, motherfucker, we get it. But anyway, really cool dude. And I had another buddy there, Joe. And we rode together all the time from the main base out to work and then work back to the main base. And Mike and I had gone out of the tent and Joe walked over to get the van. And we were standing there and the only lights were off in the distance. They were the light-alls because they were working on planes out there. And we were standing outside of our work tents. And in probably 1, 2 in the morning, whatever. And she's sleeping.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's sleeping. But about maybe 10, 12 feet in front of me. And I'm just, kind of just looking around. We're not talking or anything. It's the end of the shift. We're fucking tired. It's hot as shit out because it's Djibouti. And I'm not even joking about this at all. It looked like a leg. Like dust formed into a leg from like knee to ankle. But you could see like calf muscle. And it took like 10 deliberate steps.
No way.
And then
That's
disappeared.
Crazy.
And then disappeared.
Wow.
And I watched this, and I was like, watching this go on, and I'm thinking to myself, I have to say something to Mike, but I'm not going to tell him what I saw, because if he didn't see it, he's going to think I'm a fucking nut.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm just going to say, did you see that? And then if he says, did I see what? I'm just going to play it off like, oh, nothing, never mind. But I said, hey, Mike, did you see that? And he goes, you mean that fucking leg? And I was like, yes. I was like, yeah, what was that? He's like, I don't know, man, but it was walking. And I was like, I saw it too, right? So then Joe pulls up, and it's a weird base. Like when you drive in, it's all dirt roads. There was no asphalt. I heard that they had poured like a real flight line there. We had it all AM2 matting, which AM2 matting is tongue and groove metal sheets that go together.
Yeah, it's like big metal sheets of almost like plywood, but they all lock together. So.
Yeah, and that's what we parked that's what our ramp was, where our planes parked and everything. So anyway, there was none of that there. But in the construction of the base, they moved a bunch of graves. And driving out there, it's just mounds of rock, like grave-sized mounds of lava rock.
Oh, wow.
All fucking over, like thousands of them. All over.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Wow. And they're all graves.
Yeah.
I guess the French Foreign Legion were the ones that kind of settled the area, and they killed, like, everybody.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was... Joe pulled up in the van, and me and Mike are both like, what the fuck did we just see? And we're like, Joe, we just saw a ghost. And he thought... to this day, I think he thinks we were fucking with him. We really saw that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I
believe it.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I'm always I can say a skeptical believer.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not 100% convinced that this shit's real, but I'm not like, I don't deny,
yeah.
like it could be. I'm not like opposed to thinking that this is, but at the time, like I was like, anybody who sees anything, they're just.
Well, I think there's lots of things that you can that can be explained and that can be debunked. But there's stuff that happens that there's no explanation for. Well, and that's what's the weird stuff.
Fucking happened, and I told my dad's like my best friend, right? And like we talk like 10 times a day on the phone. Like he still
can confirm.
Yeah, he calls me all the time. I call him all the time. We talk about everything. Good dude. He's like super skeptical about all this shit, right? But I'm like the one person that he knows would never lie to him about. And I told him about this, and for the first time, he was like, maybe there is something out there. You know? But it was cool to watch him like come around because I told him.
Yeah.
If someone else had told him, I'm like, he's a fucking idiot. And maybe he says that about me when I'm not around.
Yeah. He's always, but did you hear what my jackass son
my
said?
kid's so dumb. He's got a hearing aid.
He said probably messing with his brain. That's why he's saying
all that magnetic shit. So I wanted to also talk about the ranch.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So my family owns it's called the Triangle Bar J Ranch, I think is the official name for it. I'd have to look it up. I should know that. But anyway, it's up in Havre, Montana, just south of Havre, Montana. They grow a bunch of barley for Coors up there. My great grandparents homesteaded that ranch. I don't know what year, but in the late 1800s. They homesteaded it. They built a house. And as other ranches around them failed, they took over, and they eventually got, it's like, I think it's just short of 5,000 acres at this point.
That's a pretty good sized piece of
property.
property.
It's not small. No.
Yeah.
I wish I owned it. I don't. I get no kickback from any of this. But we used to go party up there for family reunions, right? Like and that's like and you know, the family reunions were probably like 3 days, but like I remember them like they were my whole childhood, right? So we would go every couple of years. We'd go up to the ranch and you know, it was a fucking crazy awesome time to grow up. But anyway, my great grandparents both passed away, and this is the truth. In the same doorway in the hallway. So the way the house is set up, like there's a big barn out front, and then that's the other thing. The original ranch house burned down, and they built a second one, and you can actually see the foundation where it's not like a poured foundation; it's like just rock where the original ranch house was. They built the new one right next to it, actually. But anyway, so you walk in, and you walk into the kitchen is here, and then the living room is behind the kitchen, and then there's a dining room, and then like a washroom. And then the master bedroom. But coming off the living room, there's a hallway that goes down, and at the end is another entry to the master bedroom. Yeah. And then there's 2 bedrooms off of there and another bathroom right there. In the washroom is a toilet. And then there's a downstairs that for the majority of time, well, it's still technically, I guess, an unfinished basement, but there's like a framed-in bedroom and shit down there now, and a bathroom. But anyway, that's no longer the main ranch house. They have a new main ranch house, so that's just used for like guests. For years, they talked about how it was haunted, right? And I later found out my great-grandparents both died in the hallway, the first bedroom on the right. They both died in there 2 years apart.
Was it like 2 years exactly?
To the day.
Oh, wow.
To the day.
That's even crazy.
2 years apart. So, and I don't even know how they died. Like, I'm sure it was heart problems. My family's big into
heart issues.
Big into heart issues. Yeah, that's how we roll. So anyway, you till this day, and I've experienced it every time I've gone to the ranch. Everybody's always up playing poker and drinking, having a good time, whatever. But after everybody settles down, you can hear footsteps down the hallway. And when we were kids, we would all throw sleeping bags out in the living room. And there'd be like 15 of us, all cousins, sleeping in the living room, right? All the little kids. And all the grown-ups would be playing poker and shit in the living room. Or in the dining room. Yeah. Whatever. So after everybody goes to bed, you can hear people walking up and down the hallway. But you can see there's nobody in the hallway. You can hear it's footsteps in the hallway. You can hear people walking up and down the stairs. The water will turn on its own. There's a piano in the living room. It's not a player's piano. Like it's not meant to play on its own, but it will play single notes. It won't do like songs or anything, but it will do single notes on its own. There's an old tube TV in there, like a fucking old Zenith or whatever.
Yeah.
That you have to like to change the channels. The channels will change on their own.
Oh, wow.
There's a radio. It's above the dining room table. There's a recessed shelf in the wall, and there's one of those old plastic plug-in AM radios.
Yeah.
And it will turn on and play music on its own.
That's crazy.
Sounds like the Stranger Things house.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I couldn't get into that show. I watched the first 4 episodes. When the thing came out of the wall, I was like, I'm not watching this shit.
I didn't like the first 2 seasons, but 3 and 4 were good.
I've seen half of the second season up to, so I've got to catch up.
Yeah,
the second one was the one we struggled through, right?
Yeah, I didn't like the first and second. I really didn't want to keep watching, and then I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll watch it.
I mean, usually one of those things, if I start it, I'll finish it just to...
Yeah. And then the third was, like, pretty good, and then the fourth was just fucking awesome.
Really?
That was, yeah.
I've heard it. I've heard good stuff,
Fourth was
so
awesome.
I'll have to finish it.
I don't know.
Yeah. But,
so those are my ghost stories.
Those are your ghost
but
stories. That's all I got.
I do always look at these stories a little bit skeptical just because of my personal experience. And my personal experience, I don't know if you can really say if it's like a ghost or not a ghost. I don't know really the difference.
Well, the thing is, though, we don't know. And then that's the cool part about it, though,
exactly.
too.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, like, if there's footsteps in the house and nobody's there, and the water turns on, and the fucking piano plays, and the TV will flip, all of those things together, like, I gotta say, like, if it was one of those things, I'd be like, well, whatever, creaky floor.
Yeah, and that's why, like, I'm actually kind of removing myself from those types of ghost stories, because mine are, like, super fucking different from that. It's not... I'm awake and viewing something specifically. It's always I'm in like this foggy state of mind when waking up, and I think it has a lot to do with like sleep paralysis.
Yeah,
and so like
that shit's
I
freaky,
saw the
man.
same fucking ghost 3 times.
You saw a ghost
3 times.
Where at?
Well, so one was at my
hovering
mom's
over his
house.
bed, going.
Wait, so this is in different places?
Sitting on my chest.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So the ghost is attached to Dante.
Yeah, the ghost is attached to me, and I think it's because of sleep paralysis. I mean, there's so many stories
I've
out
heard
there
about that. About
like
I've had it
people
happen.
seeing
It's
this
fucking
shit and
crazy.
they can't fucking move. Like this, like my one buddy while I was in Qatar was telling me about how this one ghost like wrapped around him and he could not move. He was trying to move as hard as he could, and I'm like, man, that is a great example of sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. And so some of the things that I've seen were all while I was having some form of sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
So there was one ghost, though, that I saw, the same one, that was 3 times. And one time, the first time it was at my mother's house. And then the other 2 times it was while I was in Qatar. And every single time
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well, what if the ghost is attached to him?
And
Then
yeah,
he's gonna go with him everywhere. You got a traveling
it's like
companion.
sleep paralysis. And it's literally, so just imagine like a very stereotypical, like creepy girl. And it's just a black
He
shadow.
was missing me. You
Ooh,
can tell.
yeah.
lady.
Yeah.
Is it like the
It's
girl
just a
from the
black
Ring?
shadow.
Like the girl
Yeah.
from the Ring with the hair.
Think
over
of
her
that,
face?
or the girl that was outside of Zach's house the other day.
Oh, yeah, the crackhead.
Sheriff Keisha got
The crackhead. But yeah, it's just like something stereotypical like that. But then also it had like the powers, so to speak, of a Dementor from Harry Potter.
Oh, wow.
Because like I would wake up and I'd see it, and it would like all it is really this demon ghost phantom figure that like sucks the soul out of
It
you.
sounds like a bad ghost to have attached to you.
Yeah. So like I'm sitting there and
You
like
need to get a friendly one.
What did you do wrong?
You've learned it now. It's
My ghost
fine.
is gonna be nice. Yeah.
Maybe they can fight and get rid of the bad one.
Yeah, maybe Lorna
I'm
will-
thinking because it's a mixture of sleep paralysis and like I need a fucking CPAP because like I'm sitting there and I'm like I'm
That's your
fighting.
soul.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
fighting
sucking
for
your soul
air.
out,
And
yeah.
like there's this girl there
That's
with
crazy.
like spiral fucking
So,
eyeballs.
you
It's
don't-
like,
Spiral eyeballs?
yeah.
You don't
Just
have a ghost.
like if
you
you
have
were
a
to
demon.
draw a spiral.
Yeah,
That's a demon.
Yeah, man. This sounds like a fucking. You should
Dude,
write
This is
all
the first
down.
time
This is-
hearing of this.
You never knew about this?
No,
You
it's
didn't tell me about this.
it's literally the most terrifying thing, and I don't share it. Yeah.
Well,
The world
you just
sleep
shared it
paralysis.
with
Hey,
our tens of followers.
If one of
Yeah.
you guys knows much about this kind of shit that he's going through, hit us up because
So-
this is
There are
Yeah.
Can we get some
ancient
professional
ancient.
help?
I don't know really how old they are, but they're like from the Renaissance age or something
Yeah,
like
I'd
that.
say that's
of
that's
like
old.
pictures of this exact sort of thing happening, and like there's like demons hovering.
Are they
over
from
your bed.
Salem?
There's a lot of those.
This is a very common thing. That
There's a lot of
people
those paintings, like in
experience.
they're like during the plague era and stuff. They have all those paintings of the skeletons and all that are fighting battles and all that stuff. But like, because they think it was going to be.
So
Armageddon.
so let me ask: have you seen paintings of the spiral-eyed girl? Like,
No, not specifically her, but any demon. So it's like any like ghost or demon or scary figure
Yeah.
that will essentially, in some way, have you paralyzed.
And
while
this
you're
happened to you
sleeping.
twice in Qatar,
And once at my mom's. Yeah,
but that was growing up, right? So this happened years apart, or
at least about 3 years apart. Yeah.
Well, okay, so
but the
wow,
but the two in Qatar were within like a couple months. Yeah.
no shit.
Yeah.
there's been people that
Like
kinda-
I hate like it's cool, but I feel bad for you if that
Oh,
makes sense. Like I
yeah.
don't want that to happen to me, but I'm
Sleep
curious.
paralysis, man.
No, I've had the sleep paralysis thing. So my biggest fear growing up ever was Bigfoot.
Really.
Yeah. Like,
yeah,
like
so
legit.
fun.
So, but I mean, it's where.
Bigfoot's real. We're going to have to do a whole other episode on Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, Bigfoot. I believe that Bigfoot is real. I do, but we'll get into all this. I have like
Different episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But anyway, I used to have sleep paralysis, and like I would wake up and like think Bigfoot was there, and like I would pee myself, and
So you would think, or you would see, or you would.
so I don't want to get into all this because it's a different episode. But
Okay.
yeah, I saw Bigfoot a couple times
well, so okay.
in my head, and it wasn't really there. But I mean,
Well, that's kind of what I was.
but that's the
explaining.
sleep paralysis
Yeah.
thing. Yes, but yeah, I've experienced the sleep paralysis thing. It's freaky as fuck.
And some people can't decipher whether it's real or fake.
And
then it's like-
the thing is, at the moment, you have a really hard time with it. Later on, I think you kind of be like, okay, that was fucking crazy, but whatever.
And there are some insane fucking videos. There's this one guy in particular. He's like an ex-military guy. I don't know what his name is. I'm gonna have to look him up and give it to you after this. But there's some crazy fucking stories out of him about sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
And
Well, your story is pretty crazy.
Well, there's so
he has a lot more detail. It's insane.
yeah,
well,
let's see if we can get him on the podcast.
He's got millions of
Where's
viewers
he
and
at?
subscribers.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
yeah. To get back to kind of get in the weeds even more though too. You hear about the alien abduction stories.
Yeah.
And there's stories of those. There's some of those people will talk about how they're on a table, like an exam table, but they're paralyzed. They can't move. They're trying to scream and trying to cry for help, but they can't. And a lot of those associate that with sleep paralysis or nightmares.
Did you ever see
as
that
well, too.
movie, The Fourth Kind?
Yeah.
I fucking hate owls. That movie was...
The Fourth Kind.
It's fucking terrifying, yeah.
Is that the one where the owl spins around totally? Like the head?
No.
Or am I thinking of something else?
Owls really do that.
Oh,
They're nuts. Yeah.
But anyway,
Scratch that reverse
it's
spin.
a real, it says it's a true story. It's based in Nome, Alaska, and a bunch of people like had alien, and that's true. Alaska has the most reported like alien encounters of any state.
Well, you hear about that. There's other places like in like Norway and Sweden, and they think it's too. It's because it's such
A high latitude.
and it's desertly populated, so
Yeah.
there's less chance of getting discovered or less chance of getting caught.
Yeah. But so the psychologist up there in Nome, and she is like doing research, whatever, and she records these people, and it shows the real recordings in the movie of these people's interactions.
Yeah, they did
And,
like sleep studies and
I
stuff
did
on
see
that.
this movie.
Yeah, and she finds out like she was an abductee
Yep.
because she recorded herself having like this fucking
Yep.
fit with these aliens. That movie fucked me up, man. And I'll tell you
saw
what.
that movie
And
when I
then here's
was
the thing, like
little.
so I hunt, like I bow hunt, and like there's times when you're out there and you're in the woods and you're thinking, what if?
Yeah,
Like, what if? Like, what am I
Either-
gonna do? Shoot my fucking bow at the aliens with fucking laser beam paralysis shit? Like,
yeah.
me and my fucking PSE are no match.
That's when the imagination takes over. You're trying to walk back to your truck or whatever, and you're walking through the woods in the dark, and you're, like, "Oh,
going real fast.
it's either going to be a mountain lion, Bigfoot, or an alien is going to get me in these woods.
One of them.
And really, it's just an armadillo. And you're like, fuck you, motherfucker.
It's never a serial killer? Like, that's never the fear?
No, not
No,
in the woods.
hell no, not in the woods.
I can fight a serial killer.
What?
And the thing is, yeah, and that's the thing too, is if it's a serial killer, I'll beat that motherfucker's ass. I'm carrying a fucking 44 Magnum and a fucking knife.
Okay,
And it's
fair.
go time, bitch.
Okay, fair.
But if it's aliens or
You're
Bigfoot,
defenseless.
yeah, you're gonna anal probe.
Yeah.
Trust me, we went through that. I got anal probed. It was terrifying.
Oh yeah, guys. That's like 3 episodes back. Check out the anal probe story if you haven't seen that.
I'm ashamed, but it's part of my past.
Yeah.
And you told it to the internet.
Yeah, I don't care. I have no shame. Like, really, I mean, really, I don't care. I had a prostate exam.
It happens.
Fucking hurt.
No warning.
It was essentially an assault.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go pee. Where's your bathroom?
So time to take a break.
Be back.
So, all right, and we're back. So we got Zach decided that we're gonna crack open.
Yeah, sorry guys.
No, it's good.
I couldn't wait.
He couldn't wait.
I don't last long.
Get a little impatient.
That's alright.
No, it's good. Oh, you gotta smell the cork. Does it smell?
Smells nice.
Yeah, smells like cork.
What kind of,
Did we release maybe the camera? They say the camera or a microphone can pick
Yeah.
up.
Oh yeah, they
stuff.
say. Oh, you better check your battery because they say when ghosts are manifesting, they will suck battery power
Ooh, let's check the battery.
from external sources.
Oh man.
I've seen that.
what are the notes in this wine? Sorry, did I interrupt
What?
you?
The notes.
Are there notes?
The notes.
It says. Like, are you asking what it means? What it
No,
says?
like what, like the
The
taste.
the scent notes.
Fucking no.
Oh, give it to me.
Like, what do you smell?
Why?
What notes do you smell?
Why?
Wild berries and black
Do you
pepper
smell vanilla?
are framed by the influence of oak with baking spices and a hint of toasty vanilla. This one's
There
the
you go.
vanilla dude. He
That
likes
sounds delicious.
I mean, all those things are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, do
I like
we have
dry
wine
wine.
glass?
We have 3, so
We have
Those are
three?
the three.
I'll
so
drink from
pour
the bottle. I don't
3.
give a fuck.
We'll pour 3 and we'll share
All right.
I just want.
Oh, that's yeah. You guys share a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
a couple of things.
I was talking about the dogs.
Oh boy.
I feel very sophisticated when I drink wine.
Oh, yeah.
Totally not the truth, but I feel that.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I'm about as unsophisticated as it
Fucking
comes.
heathen.
Oh yeah.
But you gotta let it breathe. You know, we went before Keisha left. I took her to dinner, and this dude came out. He was the sommelier,
Yeah, sure.
and he was like, "Yeah, you got to put the glass at the back of your teeth, and let it roll off your tongue, and I'm like, I don't know what that.
The glass at the back of your teeth.
Of your front teeth, like something you gotta.
Oh yeah, I guess.
And you gotta inhale, and then like you get more of the.
You know what? This
Smell? Yeah.
But I'm telling you, like, the dude wasn't wrong because I did it. I followed his directions, and like, I'm not gonna say that it was like orgasmic or anything, but I could definitely tell. I got more
You
shit.
understood
got some more flavor.
more.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I was
Something
actually
I'm-
thinking about that. So like the we review a lot of beers on this the
That's
show.
lovely. That's nice. This smells
Lovely.
great.
Well, they have
It's just fucking delightful.
You gotta check the legs. There's no legs. I
we
see
got
no
a we
legs.
pink can?
Oh, I
Well,
see
it's on a
legs.
wine glass. That's only on wine glasses.
Look, here are legs.
Well, no legs here, legs there.
No, there's legs.
What are you talking about?
When
The fruity legs.
it
Swirl around a little bit,
when you
Trav.
swirl
Oh,
around
and
and
it
it
leaves-
comes down in like lines, those
Yeah.
are called legs.
where it kind of it's
You know a lot
viscosity.
about wine too,
Yeah.
then, huh?
I know a little bit about wine.
That's viscosity sticks to this glass. And
Because I do this with my
Something like
Pennzoil.
that. Can I have a sip? We need to get you another glass.
I call these drips. But they're there.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a
have
nice
that-
flavor
it's
though.
that
That's
vanilla.
good. Like that's a good flavor. Phantom, good job.
I get the I don't get the vanilla, but I do
You
get.
don't get that vanilla as the
I
aftertaste?
get the wild berry and I get the oak.
If you had it without
Yeah, I
vanilla,
definitely have the oak. It's nice.
Yeah. Well,
I like
this
that.
we all have
It's
tainted
dry, too. I
palates,
like that.
too.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that
Drinking-
is true,
drinking
Sam.
cheap,
Yeah, I
shitty
think-
natty light and then
What are you
drinking a
talking
nice
about?
wine.
What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
So I thought of it. It might be a good episode for the podcast one day. We try to get a hold of a like a beer connoisseur to like teach us how to properly taste beer.
The guy that works over at the he owns the Fort Chaffee Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Have you ever met that guy?
No.
Oh, he's a cool dude. We met him.
Oh yeah.
he
Dude.
comes and delivers beer to my door.
Yeah.
What?
He
Yeah.
literally comes and delivers
Yeah,
beer.
if
in
you
those
deliver
little,
it, he
in those
delivers it.
jugs right there.
Or if you order it, he delivers it.
No shit. That
Yeah.
dude is awesome.
We need to get him on
So
the show.
so
then.
when because we went there, we met him.
I guarantee
You
he
met
would.
him. You went when Steve was out here to teach us
Why are you giving me this?
2408.
Oh yeah,
That's where we met. Remember we went and met him there.
I don't remember.
You can open that while you're touching.
I'm sure you will. Out at the Chaffee Brewing Company. It was after we got out of the little class that one day.
I don't know. I don't remember, but maybe. I mean, I've drank a lot of beer since then too, so I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely were there.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it was you and me and I don't think Mike went. I mean, maybe Mike went and had one beer.
Okay.
But we met Steve over there because he'd been there all week. He'd been hanging
Yeah.
out in there. And the bartender was the owner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go out there. Yeah, we'll have to get him on the show and have him teach us a few pointers when we're reviewing. some of
I'm
these
sure
beers.
he would do it. He's cool as shit.
Because,
I've talked to him like 3 times, but it was when I first moved here.
Yeah. A lot of times when we review these beers, like, oh yeah, I like it. It's good. And that's about
that's,
it.
that's about it. Yeah, we're not well versed in the.
Have you had IPAs from there?
From where?
From Fort Smith Brew Co.
From
Maybe.
Fort Chaffee Brewing Company out there.
Fort Smith Brew Co.
Is that what it is? I don't
Yeah.
fucking.
The
know.
one that's in the middle of nowhere near the railroad tracks.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Fort.
that's this.
That one.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. It's all about.
Well, so
Chaffee
maybe
Crossing.
they can teach us the proper
But
way to taste
yeah,
it.
I don't know that I've had their IPA. I doubt it.
They have one triple IPA, and
Yeah.
it's really good.
A triple IPA. That means it tastes extra
Somber
fruity.
hoppy.
Extra hoppy. Extra
So do you
piney.
like Kilch? Have you ever had a Kilch?
They're more citrusy though, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're like
I
grapefruit.
like citrus. Like those 2 IPAs from Buffalo. Those
Kilch.
are very citrusy.
It hurts my mouth.
Because of the citrus or because of the alcohol?
Because I don't know. You know when you're like about to throw up and your salivary glands go nuts.
Yeah.
That's what Kilch does to me.
Because it's sour?
It's terrible.
I don't like
It
sours.
tastes like
I'm trying to get like a little bit more.
jungle funk.
That's not
Tastes like the good ass
advertising.
beer.
It's bad. It's terrible. Don't drink it. Don't drink it.
What
Oh,
is
we should have
beer?
brought the good ass beer for them to try. You haven't got rid of all that.
Yeah, no, it's out there.
The
It's
good
probably
ass
it's
beer?
probably even worse now because it's been in the fucking shed and it's been 110 fucking
Yeah.
degrees out here. And I'm not gonna waste my fucking refrigerator space on that garbage.
So that might be another thing too. Every time we have a guest on the episode, we have them check.
They gotta drink good ass beer.
Yeah.
We're gonna be assholes.
No, just drink one of them, so that way they can give us their impression.
They're gonna drink one sip and be like, bleh.
But
He's decided that he has a lot to say.
Hey, buddy,
Are you in the
Hi, Jack.
podcast?
are you on TV? Huh? Huh?
I
Go
don't
puppy,
know.
huh?
I don't know what's going on.
So, I have one more ghost story
Yeah.
that I wanted to say. So, do you guys?
hang on before you get started on it. So,
Okay.
so yesterday we was at trivia,
We do trivia at this pizza place here in town.
and I think next week we're going to record an episode there with the bartender and the manager of that place. And we're going to do the world's second oldest profession, bartending.
Do you know what the first is?
But so we was talking, we got on the subject of ghosts or something, and we started talking about it, and then we're like, no, wait, we got to stop. We can't talk about this stuff because this is going to be a good podcast episode. So that's how we got.
That is, yeah. This was
That's how we
literally.
got roped into this.
We're just over 24 hours into the planning of this. Usually we do like at least 3 days where we can do some research. So that's why the vast majority of this one is personal stories as opposed to where we've done our research on our
Because this is
stuff. Because I literally bought this wine and this beer on the way over here.
really though, the natural reaction to the natural stories though too. This is a really good episode. Is just because
I feel they're more relatable.
It's more relatable and it flows because I think it's more natural. We're just off the cuff. We're just winging it like we.
Yeah, so it feels good, but I feel like we're on point
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, it's comes out pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so what's your next story?
I went on a ghost hunt when I lived in Las Vegas. So
Okay.
as I've said,
This has all the ghosts, don't they?
well, yeah, they do. They have
All the mob murders.
the mob ones, but
They're finding
as
mob
I
bodies
said
in Lake Mead.
I said in the Las Vegas episode, there's Bonnie Springs is the town it's just outside of Las Vegas in the Red Rock Canyon there, and
It's a really cool little old ghost town.
It's an old west. It's a hokey old west town now.
Yeah.
But it really was a stop on the Spanish Trail. But anyway, in October every year they make it all haunted because you park in this parking lot like probably 300-400 yards away from the entrance, and you can either they have a little train you can get on and ride up, or you walk up. Well, they have zombies that come out in October. They call it Bonnie. They changed the name from Bonnie Springs to Bonnie Screams.
I thought you were going to say Bonnie and Clyde.
No. But they have the zombies that come out of the sagebrush out there, and there's a guy with a chainsaw.
Oh yeah.
And then like you get inside and they have like ghosts and shit all over. But they do so. As I said, it's a stop on the old Spanish Trail, and people really did die there, like in the Old West. Like it was it's a historic.
That was a hard journey
landmark.
across
Yeah.
the country back
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
And they do ghost hunts at night in October, and it's sponsored by the guys who do Ghost Adventures, the TV show, Zach Baggins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we went on one of these ghost hunts, and my ex girlfriend went to college with this guy, with Zach Baggins, the guy who owns Ghost Adventures. So they knew each other. They had a couple classes together at UNLV, and we went and did this. My cousin Sam and her best friend had just graduated high school. They came down, and we did the ghost hunt, and it was cool. It was hokey as fuck.
Yeah.
But it was cool. So they give you like IR cameras. They give some people just audio recorders you're supposed to record white noise, and then you can hear ghost talk, whatever. And there was probably like 30, 35 people on this ghost hunt thing. And you go around to the different buildings in Bonnie Springs. And they split you up into groups, and you get to go around and you talk, and then you wait, you pause, see if they respond. And then afterwards, you all meet at the saloon up at the top to analyze your evidence.
findings.
Your evidence, yeah. and then drink.
I was gonna say, they should have you drink beforehand. You
Yeah,
someone-
Oh, yeah, no, you do. You meet there and then you end up there. Yeah, you pregame. So, all the people want to find a ghost is the thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to realize that
It's the psychological
the
thing.
thing
You're like,
that
you're
you
gonna hear
imagine is going to be real in your mind when really it's just somebody in the next building like knocking on the wall or some footsteps because someone's in a hallway next to you. So we're going through our fucking evidence at the end of this and people are like, oh, I can hear the footsteps in the background. And I'm like, that's like Steve, he's walking down the hallway. Like, come on guys, don't be fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, we're here to be real about this. Let's fucking be real. But the way I was sitting is we're at a table somewhat like this one. And it's at the saloon. They have like a dining area. And then they have another room that has like tables set up. And then there's a stage because they do like Old West plays in there. Right? But while I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting at the end of the table, and the stage is down there, and it just that room keeps lighting up, and I'm like, but it's like it seems so random, like I'm like, something really is going on in here, and like, and I'm like, I'm getting caught up in the moment. I'm like, fuck,
Found a ghost.
maybe this shit's real. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and I'm like, are you guys seeing this? And they're like, what? And I said, that room is lighting up. And everybody goes to like fucking 10. They're like, yeah! And I'm like, there's really something going on in there, you know? So we all go in there and everybody spends like 34 fucking seconds walking through there. And they're going, it's really ghosts. And I'm like,
Calm down for a second. Yeah.
let's really look at the
Let's
evidence here.
investigate.
So I walk in and I'm looking and it's one of those monochrome cashier screens on the register that's facing the wall. So it's lighting up the wall and like reflecting. And I'm like, and it's the letter like, thank you for whatever. And they just had it turn around. Yeah. So I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots. Look, like this is what's lighting it up. And it wasn't Zach Baggins.
Yeah.
It was one of his
minions.
yeah, whatever. And she was like, you are really good at debunking things. You should get into ghost hunting. And I'm like, all right, like, if this is really good, like, come the fuck on. Like,
Found a display screen.
like you guys should know this already. Like,
Yeah.
this is it's like the 19th of October. You should know this. You've been doing this all goddamn month. No one's noticed. Think I'm the guy?
and they probably set it up like that so people would see it.
Yeah, and I just shat on their fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun experience. I'm glad I did it. It was a fucking waste of time in the real grand scheme of things. There was no ghosts,
That stuff's fun still.
but it was a
Yeah.
good time. I did go on a ghost tour of Billings, Montana once in October, and it was like you got to go down because there's like the underground tunnels in a lot of town. I'm sure there's some in New York. Not the subway, but like
real tunnels.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Akron, we would go actually down into the
Yeah.
Akron Falls tunnels, and we would actually have to carry these giant things of yarn. We would tie it around like a pillar down there, and we would have to.
So you didn't get lost?
So we didn't get lost. It was
That's
massive.
cool.
That's awesome.
Like massive.
Are these like? Are you talking
Wait,
like
is that
limestone
Akron?
tunnels or like?
I don't know if it's limestone, but it's like.
But like they're
serious
natural.
tunnels.
They're natural. They're caves.
Oh, yeah, they're
No.
caves.
This is like underground, like town. Like they built underground.
Oh.
Like you're in the basements of all the buildings, but they made tunnels connecting them all.
Okay.
Cool.
And the skylights are. I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but it's these little purple glass squares that are in the ground, and you see them walking down the sidewalk, and you would never think twice. You think they're just decorative. No, they're the skylights for the tunnels. But anyway, we did this whole thing, and we went to a couple of hotels, and like the Rex is I don't even know if it's still open. It's a restaurant up there. That's a really high-end restaurant that was a whorehouse back when Billings first got started. Brothel. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, whores. But anyway, yeah, it was a brothel back in when Billings was like still like the frontier, pre-Montana days when it was still the Dakota Territory. Montana Territory. Anyway, not to get off on a tangent. I did the haunted tour there. We didn't see anything. It was neat. It was informative. I would do it again. But the one in Bonnie Springs they pushed it a little hard.
That makes sense.
It was fun. I wouldn't do it again, but it was fun.
Yeah.
A lot of that goes into psychology, though. That's like a tourist attraction at that point, and they're really pushing that stuff hard to make you think about it. Because, like you said, people want to see a ghost. People,
Absolutely, yeah.
And if you're thinking about it, you're more prone to for your mind to trick you into thinking you saw something.
Dante don't want to see ghosts. He's got a demon.
Yeah, I've got my pet demon that rides around with me. I don't need anything
Old
else.
spiral eyes.
My mistress.
Good to know.
Do you have ghost stories, Trav?
I've
Get out
got
the
a couple, yeah.
sage. Get rid of her real quick.
So, all right, so I've got I guess a couple to add to that. So, I was trying to think of where to start. So, what I remember from when I was a little kid, my grandma had lived in this huge old Victorian house, and
Your dog smelling my toes. Poor motherfucker. Anyway, sorry.
He's loving it.
so.
No, maybe not.
The house that my grandma lived in, it was built back in like the 1860s or something like that. It was an old house, but it was huge. And now I think I got some pictures of it I could put on there. But so there's pictures of it back from the late 1800s when there's horses and carriages going down the street by this old house.
Like cobblestone, like pretty.
No, not cobblestone, mud, and like it was like
shit.
dirt roads and stuff.
It wasn't nice.
It was the house was really nice.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like like Forrest Gump old plantation.
No, it was this was here in Arkansas, and it was it kind of reminded you of like one of the plantation type houses, but it was on the main street. And actually, it's a major highway nowadays. It's like the U.S. Highway 65 goes right, and that is the road. In the pictures that we have of the house back when there's horses and carriages, that's a major highway through there. But so she got this house. I don't remember when she moved into it, but I remember going and I would stay the night with her sometimes, when I was a little kid. I was probably 6 or 7 years old that I remember this from when this happened. But the house, it was so old, it went through different stages of. It was a house at one point. Then it ended up actually being like a boarding house, like almost like a saloon boarding house at one point.
Really?
So it had like a common area, and then it had the upstairs had several rooms. So it was people would, when they were stopping through, going. It was like the major thoroughfare through there from like Little Rock up to Missouri, because like the Missouri territory all that time. So. People would stop there.
What year-ish?
This was, when it was that boarding house was the late 1800s, early 1900s. I'll have to find this I'll put a picture of this if I can find it. So there was a few people died in that house, but there was one guy murdered in the house during a poker game in the house, and they have a picture of him during a poker game. Because I remember I saw a picture, and it's an old black and white, picture of the guy. They had him in the pine box, leaned up against the wall, and he had been shot. During the poker game for cheating, or somebody accused him, and they had a gunfight there in the house. So there's always these stories when we were kids about these people dying in the house or guy getting murdered and all that stuff. So we always was thinking about this stuff in the house. But when my grandma lived there, the house was huge, and it was just her and my uncle lived there with her, helped taking care of her, and so they had the whole upstairs completely like boarded off and shut off.
Yeah.
They just lived on the first floor. But we would be there in the house, and you could hear footsteps upstairs above you, and the rooms are literally boarded off. There's nobody up there, and
They're boarded up?
a lot of them were, yeah. They had to.
Fuck that.
Well,
man.
they had
Scary as shit.
There was like the old staircase. You'd like open the door. There's a door, and it looked like it was a closet door. But you open the door, and it's this dark staircase that goes up to the
super steep.
Fucking
super steep
spiral eyes is up there like.
Yeah.
My grandma had one of those, and they called it the slave quarters.
Oh,
it went
yeah.
up to like their own, yeah.
Well,
like it was their own like bedroom and everything that I went up to. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah,
This,
it was fucking dark.
So when you're a kid, your imagination just runs wild with this stuff. So I mean, I don't know if
It
it's
is
my
right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. So this place was big and creepy. You'd hear footsteps, and my grandma would say, "Oh, it's just a raccoon or a possum up there in the attic or whatever." You know, I'm like, I don't know. That sounds like footsteps to me.
Fuck that.
Well, so I remember one night
That sounds like an awesome place to play and grow up, but terrifying at the same time. That sounds like a really good mix.
It was. I enjoyed always going over there and staying with her, but it was always creepy at night. Like when you go to bedtime was stressful there. Yeah,
That's a first.
That's great.
So I remember one night. I don't remember. I was in the living room. So that's what's crazy about some of those old houses too. Every room was like a separate room. Like, you have these new houses that are open concepts.
kind of like this. Yeah, they opened this all up.
Yeah, every room had like 2 or 3 doorways in it. Because it went from one room to another room to another room.
Yeah.
Well, I'm laying there in the room. I think I'm on the couch or on a cot or something like that, staying the night, and it just feels like
crying already.
No, already crying. Yeah. So, you're a little kid. If I had the blankets up over my head, nothing can get me.
That's your safe place.
That's my safe place. Well, it just feels like something's watching me. Like I just feel eyes on me. And
That's such a terrifying feeling,
Yeah.
too, man.
And I'm laying there, and so I'm in this room, and the room I'm in is dark. The room next to me has a light on. It's like just a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling,
That's scary as shit already.
Yeah. So it's just like a light bulb on, and there has like a nightlight.
There's a nightmare in there.
So I'm laying there, and I'm like, man, there's something looking at me, and I'm just hyping myself up even more and more. And I'm laying there with my eyes closed. Nothing can get me. And I gotta look and see what this is. Like, what is what? And so I'm laying there on my side, and I just open my eyes, and I can see like the silhouette of the door. Right, you have the light is on in another room, and you can see like the rectangle.
Yeah, the frame, the door frame.
Door frame. And in that door frame is a shadow.
Fuck.
So I'm not even looking at the door. I'm looking at the shadow, like the projection against the wall of this. And it is like an outline of a man or a person standing and it has one of those like bowler hats. Like it's like a top, it's like an 1800
Why did it have
hat.
to have the bowler hat? That makes it even worse.
Yeah, so you can see this guy with a hat on it, and I'm like, holy shit, there's a guy there. And so now I'm laying there, and I'm staying there as a little kid, like big-eyed, like looking at the shadow.
Just ready to die.
And I'm like, he's going to get me. And the shadow's still there, and it's like, fuck, I got to look. So I like do that and look real quick at the door, and there's nothing there. And I look back at the shadow, and it's just the rectangle of the door and the light, and there's no shadow there anymore. So
No shit.
it was creepy. So the shadow projecting against the wall was like the scariest ghost.
Have you seen the show The Haunting of Hill House? Have you watched that?
I haven't seen it, but I have heard.
Bro.
I heard it's like made people ill watching that.
So, there's like some jump scares in it, like normal horror movie scares, but it's so fucking psychological. The writers did an amazing job. It will fuck you up.
I've heard
You
you.
read this book?
No.
That's one of the reasons why I haven't.
I didn't
watched
know.
it.
I didn't know there was a book.
I have the book. I haven't read it yet.
Oh really? Oh, I'm a book nerd. Like I read all the goddamn time. But I'm telling you, you would love that show. But it will get to you.
Yeah, I've heard
You're gonna be like, fuck. Like, why am I watching this? Because Keisha and I watched it together, and we were both like, we'd be in the bed like and then we're in our fucking 30s, you know. And we're like,
yeah. What was that?
and you're peeking at each other like, are you scared? I'm not scared. Nobody's scared here. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's a psychological show. It really is.
I've heard. A
It's
lot
good.
Of,
It's very, very good.
I've heard stuff that was good in a bad way.
You know who's in it? Elliot
Really?
from E.T.
E.T. Elliot.
Yeah, he's the dad. He's the dad.
Yeah. So that one was my traumatic ghost story from when I was a kid. So I had another one that me and my wife both experienced. It was crazy. So when we moved back to Vegas for the second time, and I never could find anything on this place, but we rented a house there because we just moved back to the area. We was going to be buying a place. But we rented a house until we could find our own place. And so up to that point, my son, he would sleep in his room with no problems, by himself. He was like, it was bedtime. He'd be like, okay. He'd grab his blanket and he would go to bed, and sleep all night, no problems whatsoever. So when we moved to this new house in Vegas, he refused to sleep in his room by himself. Like, up until that point, he was like a perfect kid.
And you moved from here to Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is when you were out and you had moved back.
Yeah, so we moved back to Vegas, and my son just would quit. He didn't want to be alone anymore after that. He didn't want to be in his room by himself. He didn't want to be asleep in his room by himself.
Was it a new house or?
No, it was a
newish,
newer,
but not new to you.
Yeah, but it was it was 10, 15 years old, something like that. But he didn't like being in his room by himself. So that was odd and we thought, well, maybe it's just the move and it's something new and all that, so we kind of chalked it up to that. Well, then I was working mid-shift. I was working midnight to noon at that time. So I was leaving the house and was gone overnight. And so my wife and my son was there home alone during the night. And about 2 o'clock in the morning, one morning I was at work and my wife called and said, there's somebody in the house. And I was like, oh shit. I said, you know what to do. Get your gun. She had her .45 that she kept by the bed and she said, if they come in the door, I'm going to kill them and I'm going to shoot them. And I was like, yeah, shoot them.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah.
But she was on the phone with me and she said, I hear them downstairs. And I was like, did they break in or did they, was there glass breaking or anything like that? She said, no, I never heard them, but I could hear something moving around downstairs. And I was like, well, crap. Okay. I said, well, are you going to call the cops or you want me to call the cops? And she's like, no, not yet.
Fuck that. I'd be like, I would have called them before I called you.
Well, I think she was wanting to shoot them.
They get paid to do that shit.
I think she was wanting to like mark an etch on the butt of the pistol. But no, so, and then I'm on the phone with her. She said, they're coming up the stairs. I can hear the footsteps coming up the stairs. I was like, all right, you get ready to shoot them then. If whoever comes through that door, you empty that magazine on whoever comes through that door. And she said, okay. And then the footsteps just stopped. And then she said, I don't hear it anymore. And I said, well, do you hear anything? She said, no, it just stopped. There's nothing. Well, then she got to talking and she said, well, I'm going to go check it out. I was like, are you sure you want to do that? And she said, yeah, because my son at that point was in his room down the hall. And she said, I got to go make sure he's okay. So she opens the door. Nobody's out there. There's nothing. She goes to check on my son, and he's asleep in his room. There's nobody in the house. None of the doors or windows are open. And she said, I know for a fact. She said, She said, I'm not on my period. I'm not going crazy. She said, there was footsteps. I heard them coming up the stairs. So I was like, well, I believe you. And I just thought she might have been imagining it, got freaked out or something. But I'd heard footsteps in that house at one point too. Like it wasn't, you could hear stuff every once in a while. And it was crazy. Well, we never really got any kind of evidence for that, but it was always just weird stuff. You hear weird noises in that house. Well, so a few months go by and we find a place and we buy a place. So this goes into my second story, or a third story, I guess now. So we get this new place, this nice house, and we never had any weird experiences in this place, but every now and then, which I had to find, like if there's any kind of the history of the place that we bought, but every now and then you'd get like the smell. You would smell something, and it smelled like Ben Gay, like the muscle cream, the old people cream. So you'd go into the bathroom or you'd go into a room and you'd that smells like Ben Gay in here. Like some old person just rubbed like that cream.
Yeah,
on
somebody was sore.
And, like, we didn't even have it in the house. You know, it's like we don't use that stuff. Like, where does that smell come from? Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So we would get like this random old person smell. Everyone, if you know what that smells like, you know, if you have a grandma like that, you get the old person smell every once in a while in this new house that we bought. So that was one that was always kind of creepy.
Oh man.
Wow.
But the footsteps one was
Yeah.
really
That's a good one, man.
Yeah.
That's a good when I lived in North Carolina, did you guys ever see that movie White Noise? Michael Keaton, where I think he communicated with his dead wife over like the white noise of a radio. If I remember
that,
right.
or I think he communicated with himself like through time or whatever. It was like he was a little kid communicating with his adult self or something.
Did you just give away the ending?
No, it's a different movie.
Oh, I'm thinking of what was it?
Frequency.
Frequency. That's what I was
he
thinking.
was talking to his dad too, but that was
Yeah.
It's a totally different movie.
Okay, never mind then.
Anyway, I had some buddies that had watched that movie and they decided they wanted to ghost hunt with white noise, like that was their thing.
Yeah.
So I got this really good buddy Zacho, who's he's a professor at a major university. I won't say the name, but he got into fucking ghost hunting. Really, these guys were ridiculous.
He just finished his PhD.
He just
in ghost hunting.
Yeah. I think it's his EDD. But yeah, he just finished. He just did his doctorate. I think he just finished the dissertation portion of it. But whatever. They get into ghost hunting, and Zacho's parents live across the street from the cemetery in Lavaca, North Carolina, which is just outside of Goldsboro. And him and his mom got a fucking handheld fucking little
Whatever.
yeah, but with the little old fucking audio tapes. The little ones, the little answering machines. Yeah, I don't know what they're called. But they went over there, and you can hear these two rustling through the leaves, walking. You can hear the footsteps. And Zacho, he goes, I don't even remember how he said it, but he goes, if any ghosts out here want to talk to me, I got a recorder. Go ahead and talk. And then in his own voice, he goes, go away. And he tried to tell us that this shit was real. And he was like, I didn't do that. Well, motherfucker, that's you. Like,
I can hear you.
We party with you all the time. We know what you sound like. Like, this is you, but drunk. Yeah. So, whatever. They got into this fucking ghost hunting thing. And it was ridiculous. But they decided, and it was Zacho and my roommate Pat and this other dude AJ. And Pat was my best man at my wedding. Zacho was in the wedding. AJ could die in a fire and I wouldn't care. But anyway, we decided to go. I never got into this shit. I never watched the movie. This was not my thing. But it was theirs, and I was like, I'll tag along.
Yeah.
And there's this old. It's a Civil War battleground. It's called the Bentonville Battlefield. It's in Bentonville, North Carolina.
Okay.
And we went out in the fucking middle of the night. And we split up. Well, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. We pulled in the parking lot. And it's a state park, I think, now. But they have there's a church there. And at one point, I think the church had burned down and they rebuilt it. Yeah. And you can go through and tour it, whatever. But there's 5 doors. There's a one here and one here that you go up to get to the balcony, and then 3 in the front that you go into like the main body of the church. Well, I checked them myself, and those doors were locked. They were and they were the old oval.
Oh yeah, the porcelain handles.
Yeah, man, and it was cool. It was cool as shit. And I tried them all, and they were all locked. There was no getting in there. Well, then we all split up, and we had flashlights and shit, and there was headstones from the late 1600s in there. Like, it was cool as shit. It really was a neat place. Yeah. And, and I'm walking around looking at headstones and, like, whatever. It was neat. And these guys are off doing their thing. And you can see flashlight over here, whatever. And there was some people, and apparently there's a river down, or a lake or whatever at the end. There were some people that came through, and they were night fishing up there, so I talked to them a little bit. But we had reconvened up at the church when this was all over. And we were talking, and AJ went over, and he tried all the doors, and they were locked. And then I went over, and I tried the doors one more time, and the one to the far right opened.
Oh, man.
And they were like, let's go in. And I was like, this is a bad idea.
This is a bad idea.
So we went in. We went in, and they took video and pictures, and nothing happened. But those motherfuckers stole 2 Bibles
Oh, no.
from in there.
Do they still have them?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I'd have to call Pat. I'll call him tomorrow and ask him.
They're probably haunted if they are. That was the demon wanting out, and that's he put himself.
Those fucking idiots, though, stole Bibles
That's just
from a fucking
from
burned
a
down
haunted
ass
church.
haunted church.
That's just
Literally.
asking for bad juju, right?
Yeah,
there.
it was a.
So I got
You
one
can't
more
just cut me
story.
for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, wait.
So it was getting close to Halloween time, and my daughter, she's 10, and she's got a good sense of humor on her. But so she decided she was going to be. We watched that movie, The Ring, with the girl that right. Wears that like little that dress and has the hair over her face and all that.
Yeah.
She said,
Thank you.
I'm gonna go to the Ring Girl as for Halloween. They're like, that's actually a really cool Halloween costume. I like it. Well, so one day, like this is because she's the one that plans the shit in advance. Like she is the type like it is July, and she says, "Dad, for Halloween this year, I'm going as the Ring Girl." Like,
She's really.
And she
yeah.
sticks with it?
She
Yeah.
just thinks
That's
that shit out. That's
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So like, okay, that's cool. So then now a month later, it's September.
So you got to build a TV screen for her to climb out of.
Yeah, forgotten all about this conversation about that to this point. So we normally would get up in the morning, our alarm would go off, and we'd get up to get the kids up for school. So normally we would wake up, we would then go, hey, holler at the kids and get them up. Well, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. I wake up, I go out, I get ready to go out of our bedroom to go into the living room to wake the kids up. And I open the door, and our hallway light is on, and the Ring Girl is standing there in the hallway.
You just shit your pants. Yeah.
No.
She's standing the white dress, the wet hair over her face, standing there with her feet crooked, like with her head off to the side, like, what the hell is this going on?
Oh shit!
And then she's like, I gotcha. Like, how long you been standing there? And she said, well, I heard you hit your alarm a while ago, and I know you always hit the snooze a couple of times. So, so she jumped up and decided to prank us in the middle of the night like that. Scared the shit out of me because the girl from the Ring was standing in the hallway looking at me when I come out half asleep.
That'll do it.
Yeah,
When that movie came out, I was stationed in North Carolina.
yeah.
And I had met this girl. And we were getting to know each other, and she came over to my dorm room. And I was pretty oblivious to, like, things. And I didn't know that she came over to knock boots. And I thought we were just going to watch the movie.
You're so excited.
So we
to
watched.
watch this
I hadn't
movie.
seen it, so we watched The Ring in my room, and the whole time she was kind of crabby. And then she after the movie got over, and I walked her out to her car, and then she never called me again. I didn't know she wanted the D. I thought she just wanted to watch the movie together. So I was like, cool. Let's watch.
That's back when you thought Netflix and chill was actually just watching
Yeah, it
Netflix.
was like Blockbuster and fucking 13-inch Hitachi. Yeah, it was bad.
Didn't pick up on those social cues.
I
you
was
did not.
oblivious. I had no idea. Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh my god.
I was still a kid.
And she just sat through a whole 2-hour
Well,
movie.
at that
just,
point, though,
sulking?
Yeah.
No, yeah. At that point, she needs to show some initiative.
Yeah, she
I was
never.
gonna say, yeah.
She never reached in for anything, She just
Yeah.
watched the movie too, but then she was mad at me because I didn't make the move. I guess.
Well, there's
Women.
nothing. It's a two-way street. You're allowed to. Hey, with
Well, years later, then a year and a half later, whatever, we became pretty good friends, and she was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "I don't know any better."
You're like, I was so excited to watch this movie.
Yeah, I just wanted to watch the I thought you were hot. I thought we were gonna get to know each other, not just knock boots right away.
I was trying to respect you. How about that?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah, this is terrible. Her name's Vivian. Yeah.
Sorry, Vivian.
Well,
Sorry, Vivian. I didn't know what you were coming over for.
if you're watching this, yeah,
be more direct next time.
yeah.
I
Show
think
us
she's
what-
married with kids now. I think she's
Never mind, don't be more
Yeah,
direct
she
next
was.
time.
Yeah, I think she's doing okay.
It seems like you figured out how to show initiative. Then, all right.
Yeah. Do you guys? Do you know what the little people are?
Like as in midgets.
No, but
That's what I thought of. I was like, the TV show?
are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a legend up in it's all over through the Rockies as far as I know. All the Indian tribes, the Native American tribes, sorry, they have a legend of, they call them the little people. And I'm not bullshitting.
Is it like the Irish and the fairies or whatever? Because
It's very similar, yeah.
like
So,
you get like a,
so the thing is, up in Montana, Wyoming, fuck off. I'm gonna bring it up.
this is only like the fourth time this episode, so it's okay.
Oh, it's not gonna get a pass. Yeah. Dylan always.
Is there a punch card?
Yeah, I mean, apparently I have a fucking. I hit my quota early.
I'm on
But anyway, there's the tribes up there have these legends that they call them the little people, but there's evidence to back this up.
Like pygmies, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's I wish I could remember all this the way that I had heard it, but there's been legends of the little people for fucking thousands of years. Up there, right? And they're shorter people.
Yeah.
That have almost mystical powers, basically.
There's legends of giants in the Pacific Northwest too,
Yeah.
8 foot tall people.
Yeah.
Well, Bigfoot.
Well, but the little people are they have found mummies.
Yeah.
So in the Bighorn Mountains in Wyoming and the Pryor Mountains in Montana, which is they're essentially the same mountain chain. They're just two different states, but they have found caves that had mummified little people, and they sent them off to I believe it was University of Chicago. I could be totally wrong about that, but I think that's where the one went to was their I don't know if it's their history department, their anthropology department, or whatever. But they went to a department in I think the 1920s or early 30s, and they basically dissected this mummy, and they decided it was a 34-year-old person.
But it was little.
But it was little.
Well,
then they have found. So there's a town. It's just south of Billings called Fromberg, and it's a really small town. Maybe 500-600 people live there. I don't know. But Fromberg, it's all ranch land. It's farmers out there all over the place. But somebody backed a tractor in and a hill gave way, and it was a fucking chamber that opened up.
Really?
And it was just dozens of mummies of little people in there.
Really? That's cool.
So, but he, in respect to the tribal lands, which are not far away, he covered it back up and would not divulge the location. It's somewhere on the guy's land.
Yeah.
But anyway, there are caves out there, and I've never gotten in good enough with the tribe, but I do know people who know the tribal elders, right? I mean, it's still pretty small population up there, and there are caves up there that they will only certain people are allowed to go to. But I know people who have been up there, and they say that the caves at the opening is just littered with bones.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, there was a cave. Have you ever heard like the story about the real life hobbits that they'd found?
I saw someone Yahoo about this, I think, a couple years ago,
I think
right?
it was somewhere in the South Pacific on an island somewhere that they had found a fully anatomically correct human skeleton, but like 2 feet tall. They say like, a lot of people with dwarvism or
Yeah, they have like longer
Missing bones.
forearms and whatever. Yeah.
But this was like it was a correct human form, but it was just like 2.5 feet tall.
It was Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, it was Samwise that they found his skeleton. But no, they found like several of these skeletons and stuff, and it was like a offshoot of, and it was like 100,000 years old or something like that. They had dated it at, but it was like a offshoot of humans that had went to these islands at some point and had like set up they had colonized this place. But yeah, they were tiny little people. And because they did DNA tests, there was human DNA on them.
Yeah.
But they were little. So I mean,
That's crazy.
That's insanity.
yeah. And then it just shows too, like there's always some of these historians too. That's what really gets me. And this is a whole nother rabbit hole getting into though. These people talk about how they talk in these absolutes. It's like this is how it happened and this is what happened back then. Yeah. Like you weren't there 10,000 years ago. You don't have a clue of what happened 10,000 years ago.
Or if you knew it was at 10,000 years.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Exactly. So, I mean, you can say this is what we hypothesize.
Radiocarbon dating is only so accurate, right?
But yeah, because they have radiocarbon.
They can't get down to like the absolute year.
No.
Whatever.
There is it's a I don't know, what do you call it? Where a margin of error.
Yeah.
Because they have carbon dated the same object twice and came up with a date that's like 1,000 years apart.
1,000 years is a lot of years.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm curious. I don't know if these are going to be any good.
I've heard I've seen the cherries from those that are supposed to be really good.
Old Smoky, Tennessee moonshine. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've had the cherries. But definitely not the pickles.
All right, so we're gonna try the.
I'm legitimately like salivating. I love.
You like pickles that much?
I'm a pickle.
Hang on, let me see.
Here you go.
Here's a preview for a future episode that we're gonna do. These are the Old Smoky Moonshine pickles. So we're gonna do an episode in the future about moonshine and NASCAR and how they tie in together. And we're gonna do some pickles.
Did you see they're coming out with EV NASCAR next year?
Really?
Yeah.
So that'll be an episode in the future, and give us a comment and see what you want to do with that. But yeah, we're gonna have to do a good episode on moonshine here. Before
Want the first pickle?
I'm the guinea pig.
Yeah. And go ahead. I'm gonna
tastes
grab
like
one right now.
Coors pickles.
They're really good. That's really good.
You want that?
Yeah, I'll try it.
That's really good.
There you go.
Hell yeah,
That's
really good. I'd sit there and eat that whole jar.
Yeah. Be shit faced, just eating pickles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's way too good. That's dangerous.
That's dangerous, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
good.
good.
Really good, right? Yeah.
Are they actually?
Yeah. Do you like pickles?
Yes.
Come here. Try this.
Try.
Dig in. That shit's
You grab a whole
amazing.
pickle. There's
No,
forks.
just let me try
No,
it.
just eat
fork
the
right
whole
there.
thing. Just do it. Just do it. It's fucking
You
amazing.
gotta sit down and show it to the camera that you're eating it.
Yeah.
I have to show the camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
I need to tug of that pickle juice.
Dude,
too.
I have a whole bunch of cucumbers in our garden. Guess what I'm doing?
Yeah, some moonshine pickles.
Is this someone's napkin or can I
No,
take
No,
yours.
you go.
There you go. It's fucking bad.
Bad, like bad, like
That's
bad.
like dangerous bad.
Oh, but good.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, don't.
I can eat that with like a burger. I mean,
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, man, that shit's amazing.
Alright. I'm not upset about the purchase anymore.
No, this was a good.
It
This
was
is your idea.
$23.
Yeah, it was 28.
something crazy.
Yeah, but I would drink. So I drink pickle juice on my own. Like I enjoy pickle juice.
Well, now you have.
You know, it's like jam packed full of electrolytes.
Oh yeah.
Didn't know that.
Oh
Yeah,
it's
no,
all
no,
the
pickle
salt
juice is
and all
like
that.
super healthy.
It's a good.
Well, now I want to be healthy and drunk.
So cucumbers are healthy.
Yeah. You can have
You got any
this.
shot glasses?
Yeah,
do you have a
shot
shot?
glass.
Oh shit, yeah. I mean, if you want to take it, we're not gonna eat all those.
No, I want
Do you want a pickleback?
to try a
A
shot.
pickle with a pickleback?
I don't even know what you said.
A pickleback shot.
I was thinking of just a shot of the pickle juice out of this jar.
Yeah.
What's a pickleback shot?
With pickle juice or a pickle as the actual as the chaser.
You never heard
Some
that?
people actually do tequila with a pickleback.
I'm about to do a pickle
I have
with a
tequila too.
I'm about to do a pickle with a pickleback.
Pickleback. Pickle.
This is a double. Let's do
Ooh, that's a big old one.
it.
You
Trap.
can do whatever you want.
You can.
You can have whatever you like.
Am I
You can do
pulling
half
out?
of it. You can
Am I
do all
pulling
of
out the
Holy
tequila
crap.
too?
I filled it up.
it. That's moonshine, motherfucker.
All right, buddy.
So it's another precursor to our.
And these are from Ala Mujeres. Probably chock full of ghosts.
So yeah. So last week we had the pickle vodka. So now we're gonna have pickle moonshine. This
We're
week.
just getting off the rails already with this.
Oh yeah.
We haven't even signed off yet. Guys, I'm sorry this happens.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We go.
Just lay there and take it.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing tequila. I am not doing tequila.
Not tonight. We'll do that one. We'll have to do another tequila
That'll be one in the shed
That'll be
Oh, yeah.
about the Aztecs.
when we can all sleep at the house.
We'll do the history of the Aztecs with
Yeah.
tequila. That'd
There
be
you
really
go.
good.
There you go.
I'm cool with
So
it.
we could do.
All right, so
Cheers.
guys, we appreciate you guys watching the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Listen to our ghost story. I almost said groceries.
Both. No, guys, if you have ghost stories, throw them in on the likes and the comments, or shoot us a message. Whatever. Like, we like ghost shit. And if you guys have something you want us to cover, feel free. We, like I said the whole time, we want your suggestions.
Yeah.
We're on location at a haunted house right now. We got a haunted briefcase, and apparently a buttload of alcohol because this was not this crowded at the beginning of the podcast.
And then we've thrown half the cans away already too.
Yeah, that's totally true. We made poor choices again.
We drank.
Appreciate
But
it.
we're staying the night.
There we go.
Hit us up. Let us know what you want us to cover. Say hello. Give us a shout out. And tell your friends to like and subscribe.
Yeah, you can find us anywhere. We're on YouTube. That's where you see in the video. Then we have our Twitter, our Facebook, TikTok.
I didn't even know we had a Twitter.
Oh yeah, we got it now.
Yeah.
Keep up.
So
I have to make a Twitter.
So hit us up anywhere you can find us and all the major podcast players. So we appreciate all you guys' likes and subscribes and all your help. And
Boo, bitches.
boo. Woo!
Doubler.
That's really good.
That's another pickle juice
so
show right there. Yeah,
That's funny.
pickle juice moonshine.